Ooh.
You gotta do your dance. Gotta get that dance going. What are you looking away? What you looking for?
Getting them beers.
Oh.
Getting them beers. Getting them beers.
It's
your boys. Welcome back to Happy Hour, Quick Sixer Podcast. It's your boys, Pat Artist, Drew Pasley. We're going to have a quick sip later, too. I'm going to introduce those fools later, but introducing right now, that Birdsong Brewing Company. This one's that Rewind Lager. Of course, this is our sponsor for this episode. Hashtag, go check out that bird. Hashtag Birdsong. That's that Charlotte, North Carolina beer.
Yeah.
Drew, for the first time. Oh, hold on.
No, go ahead, do that.
Ooh. This okay. So, fair shake on this one. We haven't had any of these beers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but you know what? I'm about to pour mine in real quick though.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna do a sip. Oh,
you gonna do a sip first?
You get that pint koozie though. It's got both sides. So YouTube viewers, go check that out. This is a pint koozie. I never seen one of these. They sent it to us.
You can do a can sip, huh?
I'm gonna do can sip first.
Oh,
this is nice.
I like that.
This is nice.
Oh, let me go ahead and pour this into my pint glass.
Oh, love that. This is actually really good, man.
I know. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Like good shit.
My Charlotte, my boys in Charlotte.
I know. That Charlotte NC. That's it. It's a nice. I don't know if you can see. Here's a YouTube viewer. If you can see that, that's like a golden joint,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
this is actually really good. It's kind of honey tasting.
Yeah, and it's got kind of a little hazy to it. It might be my glass, but like when I'm looking through,
it's just your glass. It's just it's got a It's just.
I mean, it's pretty. No, it's pretty clear. That's pretty clear.
This is nice, man.
I feel like I should be able to see through it though.
So I don't want to fuck her name up, but we got to give a shout out to the homie. Shit. We'll see if I fuck her name up though.
You going to? You stay fucking names up.
Tara Goulet.
Oh.
Or Goulet. I think that's how it is. But it's probably Goulet.
You did her name a favor.
I love that. I hope I got it right. Shout out Tara. Thank you for sending this. This is so cool. Yeah, so we have actually what I was gonna say earlier. We have for the first time kind of notes about these beers they sent us. This is pretty sick.
Nice little presentation too. I'm looking at it.
I love that. And Drew commented earlier about their graphics. So this like cassette thing on the Rewind Lager, it's pretty sick. You know how you used to have to rewind those cassettes with the pencil. That's nice. And you said you like their geometry bird thing, right?
I do. I like the shapes. It's like minimal, but it also kind of like reminds me a little bit of Keith Haring, except for his is like more round. Like previous episodes, you could see my Keith Haring poster up there. Right here, little canvas. It kind of reminds me of that. Like his shit is very minimal but colorful and stuff, and theirs is very minimal. I'm digging it.
Okay. What do you think about what you think about this lager right now?
Let me just go ahead and get one more sip before I tell you. Bro, this is a really good lager. Like it's solid.
Okay.
Like I'm not getting any aftertaste, weird alcohol, cheap beer taste or anything like that. Like it's just as soon as it hits my mouth, it just wants to go down. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
It's real easy.
That's what she said.
Oh, damn. That's that crispy boy.
Oh, this actually, that brewer notes. This is more than your average crispy boy. Yeah, no, it literally says that in the notes. So, fun. We're gonna hit the fun facts on these because we're not brewers, so we can't get in too nerdy about it. But
yeah,
hit the fun facts. So, this Rewind Pilsner takes 54 days to make, versus most of the beers, which usually take about 2 weeks. That's kind of crazy. Maybe that's why we're thinking like this. It's like a nice. Let's see.
Brew. Looks like.
Shout out to Connor. Apparently, this was his idea for the cassette and the pencil on the logo.
Oh, nice.
That's what's up.
I just wanted to see this. Let's see. The classic Saaz lends its typical noble hop character with a bit of licorice and Sterling adds a pleasant floral character to balance the aroma. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I taste licorice, but I'm getting
I don't know.
I'm getting a little beer flavor, you know what I'm saying? A little
I'm
taste of
getting
beer.
flavor. Yeah, it definitely says it's a beer flavored beer.
To reiterate what Pat was saying, we ain't no
But,
master brewer. We don't know. We're not beer connoisseurs. We just beer taste-asseurs.
So it says on this note actually that it's a session beer, and I could definitely see that. We could have a session drinking the shit out of this. I know what I'm saying.
What kind of session are you talking about?
You know, just a hangout session. That's what session
I thought you were
beers
talking
are.
about like a skate session.
Oh,
Because you know your boys
you can have some skate sessions with this too.
straight up be having some skate sessions when they shouldn't.
Oh god.
Oh, some beers.
You know, yeah, we do. Yeah, it's a true story. This says it's one of the most crisp and clean pilsners around. I'm gonna have to agree.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to agree that. I mean, we usually be hitting some heavier things on this. This is only. I don't even think we said it. There's only 4% alcohol in this joint.
I'm curious about something though.
What?
So like on here, on my can, it says lager. On the PDF mock-up beer that they have, it says Pilsner, and I see some notes and stuff like that. I wonder if I wouldn't think that it's different. Like I would figure if they made this rewind beer, it would be the same. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think they're making two different kinds of rewind, but I don't really know the difference between Pilsner and lager, so I don't know.
I mean, does anybody really know? No,
I mean, does it taste good? Does it get you drunk?
I mean, that's the criteria, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And this is that slow fade drunk. This is that 4% alcohol.
Oh, this is that I'm gonna drink a whole sixer of it. You know, a quick sixer.
Oh,
you know
that quick.
This is the quick sixer. You know.
That's cool though.
Ooh.
I like it. Ooh, damn! It's already getting to Pat. He burping and everything.
I know. They said they made this beer in 2018. Yeah, like we said, they're a North Carolina based brewery, and we gotta shout out the homie Tara hooking it up. This was we didn't know when we were gonna get to this sponsor because we got backed up for a minute with other stuff that we were doing.
Yeah.
And whatnot, but I want to. We're looking at their site right now. They offer, we have 3 of their beers we're gonna showcase today, but they have quite a few. I mean, just from the front page, I'm looking at 8.
Dang.
So and check this out. Here's positive thing. They sell Birdsong masks.
Ooh.
I love that, right?
They staying ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying?
Staying ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? Bro,
I really do like. First off, this beer. I'm just gonna say it again. It's pretty crisp. It's pretty good. I don't know much about breweries in Charlotte, but I wonder if they're like, one of the top, because this is pretty standard right here. Like it's not like it says 45 days to make. Like they're not fucking around. Like they really care about their beer. So I'm wondering if they're getting love from Charlotte.
I mean, I hope so. You can only hope so. I'm trying to.
What you trying to do?
I'm trying to tell you some more stuff about them. You can follow them, Birdsong Brewing, on Instagram. They have a Facebook page. They have a shop, like a Shopify shop, so you can buy all their stuff. Yeah. So it began in December 2011 in Charlotte, out of a great love for beer, they say. And they produce a bunch of beers. They do events, music inquiries, so I guess they do shows there. Okay. They're located in I'm guessing this says Noda, so north, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what that means. At 26 in North Davidson in Charlotte. So go check them out. Yeah, and if you look at their Facebook page and all this stuff, you can see they have like 8 beers on that all look really good, man. They got this one Pink Robots, they got a Blackbird, Hazy Sexy Cool IPA.
Ooh, the TLC,
love
right?
that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the
They got that
TLC
Paradise
reference.
City. They got that Paradise City.
Mm.
You know that GNR.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bruh, just on Facebook alone, they got 20,000 people like this shit. So
Dang.
they almost as much as them some of them some conspiracy groups right now. You know what I'm saying? They open 11 to 8. Go check them out. This shit looks dope. Their tap room looks dope. Looks like they got a dope patio you can go and check out.
Yeah, that's cool.
But anyways, we talking about going out. You know,
Oof.
Sure, I've been going out,
What?
bruh. Not like going out, but you know what I'm saying. And
I
your
don't. You gotta
boy,
tell me.
I'm about to tell you. So your boy had to chop down some trees. You know what I'm saying? Man ass shit.
You
know
going
what I'm
out to
saying?
the yard? You know, so
Out of the
a
yard.
man.
I had to do some yard work. You know.
Mhm.
And dude, bruh. I'll tell you what.
What?
Last night, so we decided that we weren't gonna get these stumps grinded, right? Because when you chop down trees, you gotta get the stumps grinded out. It's really whack and it takes forever. So we're just like, oh nah, I'll just cut it out with an axe or something and then like pull it out. You know, they're small trees, so. Bruh, figured out yesterday that the fall time got allergies for me, bruh. They were holding it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me hard.
Mm-hmm.
Hard. You know, I don't even know. Do you fuck with allergies? Do you have allergies at all?
Constantly.
I mean, no one fucks with allergies. You know,
I don't fuck with
it. No, it's
But
whack,
they fuck with me.
bruh.
Dude.
I had to lay on a tilted pillow to go to sleep. My
Oh,
ass.
damn.
That's the trick, bruh. That's the trick. I had to take a hot as hell shower, trying to drain myself. Awful.
You know, I'm so used to, like, I even feel like a little stuffy now, but I'm so used to, like, waking up with, you know, congested and stuff like that, or like it just every situation that I don't really know if it's the seasons that mess with me or if it's actual things. Like,
Okay.
I'm allergic to my cat. So if I go and you know, if I like take her litter out or whatever and the dust flies up or I get, you know, all that stuff, I'm a good hour. I'm gone. Like I need some time to just breathe. But I know one thing though. I'll say this: having allergy symptoms during COVID is scary, bro.
That's why I wanted to bring this up. I'm so glad you said that. So, yeah, no, this shit hit me so damn hard because I was pulling this damn tree trunk out of the ground, right? These roots, you know. And I already take an allergy pill every day. Like every single day I take allergy pill in the morning. So I'm like, all right, you know, I should be fine, you know. Shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
But then this stump thing is right near a big tree in my front yard. So I'm like, fuck. I'm near this tree. I know this shit has all sorts of, you know, dead leaf, pollen, all sorts of shit in it. It's just going to get up in my system as soon as I start like making a rustle. So I was also used a chainsaw yesterday to chop up some wood and stuff. So I'm sure some of that shit was all up in there. Like just, you know, that wasn't playing either. But bruh, getting allergy sick during COVID is like, bruh, do I got COVID? Did I get this shit like overnight? Like I haven't been around nobody. Like
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm even scared to, like, if I swallow like a drink, like I swallow water wrong and I'm in public and I gotta cough it back up a little bit, I'm scared people gonna be like, you know, just like I'm Salem witch trials me, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, I know, and it's not even, dude. It's so nerve wracking. Like you got to be like, all right, no, I don't have this death disease. I'm good. I don't have. It looks like you flirting around with some letting people in, huh?
I'm flirting around with it. I'm waiting for the story to end.
All right. But anyways, yeah, I guess that's the whole point of it is like, bro, just the nerve. It's just so nerve wracking having allergies during this time right now. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like Meg suggested, she's like, why don't you go to like an allergy doctor? And I'm like, I don't even want to go to the doctor. You know, I don't even want to go inside a building
where
so,
other
like,
sick people have been.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't care if they're getting allergy tests. I mean, like they allergic to everything, you know. Meg's like, oh, you should go to the dentist, and I'm like, I don't want to go to the dentist. They all been my shit, you know.
No, they open in the mouth.
They go, oh, here's your COVID right here.
They just put it in the mouth. you be looking at their tools like, I don't think you washed that shit, did you?
Yeah, no, that's my only thought. I'm just like, you never washed this. I
saw you pick that up at the drawer.
Yeah, I saw it. This didn't come out in no packaging. This shit came out of somebody else's grill, like right into mine. I'm not even fucking with that.
The exam room next door.
Yeah, they say, "Oh, hold on, Mr. Anderson, I gotta pull the fucking drill straight out of your mouth, put it in this other motherfucker's mouth." Oh, this bitch needs a cavity search too. No,
shit.
I was tripping. I was like, no, I don't want to do any of this. But yeah, bruh, anybody who's listening, you suffer from allergies, we got you. We feel you. Just hit us with the, it's allergies. You know? And with that,
we need a symbol. All allergy people gotta have a symbol saying no.
We got it. Assembly. You know, we gotta have like some kind of code.
I'm talking about, I don't.
Like
this
the
might
Scouts
be
honor thing.
Yeah, this might. I can't. Oh,
which one's Scouts and which one's
we're doing the what's that? Spox.
That's this Spox. Is Spox. Oh. Speaking of, go ahead. You know, we got a special quick sip. Quick sip today. We're gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves, but you met this guy before.
You met this guy. Of course you met this guy.
Oh shit, Riley. Let's go. Let's
go. Boy.
Let's go.
All right, we were finishing a little story, but you in here now.
Oh, I'm here now. You guys are already loose, huh?
Yeah. Stay loose. Look at this. There's Rewind Lager. How cool is that? You would appreciate that.
I love that. Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Cassette beer.
Yeah. North Carolina, Birdsong.
It's crispy, too.
Cool.
We got little koozies for the pint glasses, too, which I've never seen before.
Yeah. They're shaped here. I don't want to show. I don't have a blank pint glass, but here, look at this. They're shaped.
That's cool.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. I've never seen a pint koozie. That's a good idea.
Yeah, super cool.
What you got in your hand?
Lager of the Lakes Bohemian Pilsner. Ooh. I don't know. I've never had it before.
Was that a 2 bells? Is that what the top of that is?
It says bells.
It says bells on it.
There appears to be 3 bells.
Oh. 3 bells. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's bells. That's a Michigan beer. So go ahead.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Bells.
You
that's good shit.
You
about to have that. You can have. That's good.
Apparently, Bell's Brewery is 100% family owned and independent. Says the box.
Go for that.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see.
Speaking of old Riley Bray right here, today, our previous episode, it doesn't even matter. So listeners should remember our boy Riley Bray from the episode that's already out. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it was released. It released today. So.
Yeah. Oh, right on. Perfect timing to come back.
I know. I was so exciting. We have 2 other beers, so it's gonna get kind of
messy. we got some really interesting ones to try this time. So it's about to get probably worse than the Lagunitas episode.
Oh, really? All right, cool. I'm looking forward to that.
It might strap in, my dude. You know, get them strap-ons on.
All right. Always strapping and packing.
Strapping and packing. Here we go. So speaking of strapping and packing, let's talk about holiday plans. No.
Did you just down it? What happened? Oh no! What's up? So what's going on? We got holiday plans?
Yeah. So it turns out this year, you know, this whole year of hell, I'm having my parents and my brother come for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So I've been thinking, you know, there's a whole bunch of articles out about like, you know, best practices about being around your family during the holidays or what holidays are gonna look like now. The whole thing, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know. I don't even know what to do. Like, do I tell my brother, like, bruh, just stay in your room for 2 weeks before you get here? Do I don't know. Is hugging a thing still? Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's weird.
I mean, you could get a rapid test right before you all get together. That's what we do for work. That seems to be
rapid test.
I mean, it's expensive, though, and it's a whole thing, you know.
That sounds. Yeah, we're gonna get
so
into some of that later.
So holiday plans. I know this is crazy too because, all right, I go home every year to Mississippi, make my way to Memphis, see all the family every single year for Christmas, and last year was the year that I got married, and we did so much and traveling so much. And I was traveling for Gibson a lot. Riley, remember that for the process, all that stuff. Traveling so much that I was like, I need a year off. I need a year off from traveling home for the family, all that stuff. And then 2-3 months later, COVID hits. And now I'm not going home. It's going to be 2 years and maybe 3 years. You know, it's wild. Yeah. And I feel bad like I jumped the gun. I should have just stuck it out and said, you know what? I guess I can handle it. I guess I could go home because now I don't even get the opportunity because I don't want to fly. Like I really just don't. I don't want to get on a plane to Mississippi where I'm going to be honest, people don't really care about wearing masks or, you know, whatever.
My man, it is not even just Mississippi. My man, have you been outside your apartment? America is fucking up, bro. Yeah. Riley, what's on your plate?
I have no plans yet. I mean, it's the same thing. My family's all kind of like not sure. You know, nobody knows what to do. I'm not. I mean, I don't want to say it like, you know, on camera, but I'm not as concerned for myself because I already had it. I know that you can get it again and all that. But yeah, I have tested positive for antibodies. But my concern is just spreading it. You know, I don't want to be like a person that makes it worse. So I don't know. We might just kind of skip it this year. I'm more bummed about Halloween, to be honest. I love Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I see my family a lot, but Halloween, goddamn, that's rough losing that one.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the episode that's going to go up before this one. Like, what's going to happen at Trick or Treat? We do social distance. Everybody's going to do the, you know, honor system.
Bro, not here.
Just hand out hand sanitizer to the kids. You know,
just a squirt.
Just every door. Just one squirt. Yeah.
Spray them. Just spray them.
I mean, Halloween.
You have a mist tent with hand sanitizer.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of spooky fog, it's spooky sanitizer.
Yeah. House. Bro, yes, I was telling Drew. We just did a topic a minute ago about fall allergies, and so I had to use the chainsaw to cut some shit down yesterday.
Manly. Nice.
Oh, so very fucking manly. Thanks, man. Yeah, I was using an axe too, like some shit. I was crazy. I was so manly. Yeah, and I felt like awful this morning. It's like, bro, you don't feel out of shape until you start doing some manual ass labor, swinging axes and wood and shit. Oh my god.
Yeah. Especially the day after. When you're doing it, you're like, I'm invincible. This is amazing. Why don't I do this every day? And then the next day you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
Everything hurts.
So this chainsaw I was talking about, I was like, oh man, I don't have a chainsaw. I let my buddy borrow it, and then COVID happened, so I never got that shit back. So
I have some microphones in that situation.
Oh, there you go.
Lost to COVID loans. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to hit up my neighbor.
I've got one of those. You'll get it back eventually.
That's true. Yeah.
We need it. You're still technically using it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Just expanded my web.
So I hit up my neighbor across the street. He has a little kid, right? And I was like, yo, dude, can I use your chainsaw? And like, I have these fools around me don't give a shit about no COVID, right? So they just walks over. I'm like, pop on the mask, stay away from him, right? And I'm like, yo, thanks for the chainsaw. You know, I'm gonna use gloves when I have it, you know, like, type of thing. And I'm like, oh, and it caught me. I was like, are you guys trick or treating this year? You know? And he was like, oh yeah.
Oh, like, of course.
Just like nothing
without a doubt in his mind.
No doubt. I mean, this man has been taking the kid to. I mean, there's no doubt. Like, I mean, it's weird, bro. I don't know.
It is,
I don't know how I feel about it.
You can't. We try and try, but you just can't get to people sometimes. It's just people are gonna do what they're gonna do. But yeah, trick or treating is basically just like a giant germ sharing ritual. It's like, all right, everybody go mix the neighborhood up. Everybody spread each other's germs. You know,
probably created the flu. It's probably what created influenza.
I mean, I was thinking about it, and it's like, I think it weirdly like helps, because if you think about like the biome of a community, right? So like we have this fall ritual where everyone goes around and shares food and basically like spreads their germs around, which kind of prepares everyone's immune system for the winter. that's coming. So maybe there's some subconscious human science in there. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's my theory on trick or treating.
Well, Michael, welcome.
Hi, sorry,
No,
it's all good. It's all good.
I've got my buddy just sent. It's my birthday on Wednesday, and my buddy.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Thanks. Just sent me, and it's already. You can see I've gotten into it, but this awesome barreled Manhattan from this company that does this special process with it. And this is from Park City, Utah.
Okay.
Oh.
And they even there's even vermouth in here that they have to process in a there way to make sure it all preserves in the bottle. So I've got.
So
myself
you might get a little.
Yeah, that's not.
You might get a little tipsy.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey man, this is why I was like, oh shit, I can't drink if I'm doing an audition afterwards. But now,
well, you could. It could just go a different way.
Yeah, come on, it's a character choice.
Drew, are you ready for this
I'm
next
ready.
one?
Nope.
All right.
Let me grab.
All right. Cool.
Which one did you get? The brown.
Well, we decided we were going to end on that weird one.
I remember.
Okay. So this next beer from Birdsong Brewing Company. This is that Lazy Bird Brown Ale. So me and Drew read the fun facts for the last beer, and we're gonna read this one too. So Lazy Bird is MDLP's favorite beer that they make. It was brewed as a pilot on tap, opening in 2011. So that's when they opened. Their 10 gallons went really quick, and it says most of their beers have evolved over the years, but this one stayed the same. So this one is the one they won the most awards with. I know Drew loves the brown ale, so this is gonna be kind of fun for him. I think.
Yeah, that's good.
5.5. Nothing too heavy. Like I know.
No,
we talked about in the last episode. We did some fucked up beers. Like it was like 8.5.
I don't know why these sponsors keep trying to fuck us up. Like they seriously.
I'm okay with it.
I know.
It's like a challenge. They're coming for
I do.
us.
I'm like, all right, I don't want to leave the
I
chair.
just want some
let's
normal
go.
ass beers. I don't want to die on a podcast. But Pat will he likes those singles that are just like 10.
Just get to the point, I'm like anyway, dude, this is fucking good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's got coffee and chocolate. You can definitely taste the coffee and the chocolate in this.
For sure.
Yeah. Anyways. So, on to the next.
Well, I guess we could ask Michael since he came in a little late. We were talking about holiday plans and how they might be a little skewed now because of COVID. Do you have holiday plans, or do you normally do holiday plans?
Hi guys, it's Michael. Thanks for having me. First of all,
it's all good.
Join your happy hour.
Yeah.
I usually go home. I'm from the Midwest. I live out in LA now. I'm from Kansas City, so not every year, but like last year I stayed in LA because I'm an actor and I love when LA shuts down for those 2 weeks in between like Christmas and New Year's, because it's very rare that you get actually like time off that you get to feel sort of guilt-free for not hustling, or if you're not auditioning or whatever, or like, any minute you could get a commercial audition in or an audition in. So you're always sort of like, as a freelancer, you're just kind of like waiting for that to happen. So last year, not knowing, of course, what 2020 was bringing, I told my family, I was like, I love you guys. I'm going to come home a little bit earlier in December, have an early Christmas, and then go back and be able to just chill out, because I never get to spend just alone time in my apartment and not feel worried that I'm gonna get called to do something. And so then of course 2020 happened, and here we are, and so I will be repeating that process minus going home at all this year, which sucks. I have some family members that are high risk, so I'm just I could go back, but I'd have to do the 2-week quarantine thing. And I don't know whose house I would do that in, because sort of every household in my family, there's somebody there that I'm worried I could get sick and really make ill. So
you being
riding it out.
You being responsible.
Love it. Yeah, definitely. That's actually a positive thing, honestly. You being responsible at that. That's Fuck, I hate to say it, but it seems like it's rare these days. Like, people just get caring, you know?
Well, it's tough, too, because even my sister, you know, God bless her, she's like, just come, let's do this. And I'm like, no, you have RA, and your medication could make you really ill. And she's been very good. Yeah. But I do feel that all of us collectively, you know, are at the breaking point here. Mm-hmm. And we have to just, like, hang in there a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that I keep, you know, speaking of happy hour, the thing that I keep sort of in the back of my mind is that after we get through this, and we will, there's going to be like a roaring 20s level. If we, you know, like party.
I'm ready.
You know, hopefully the economy, we can hang in there. But like, whenever we get over this, we're going to have like some type of small cultural renaissance. I really feel it. That happened after the Spanish flu, they say. You know, the roaring 20s kind of came out on the heel of that. So that's kind of my hope, is that like, look, let's just all buckle down and we will have a huge party when this is done.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. No, I love that. That's awesome. Speaking of, we definitely want to talk about Bigfoot Collectors Club. But since you're talking about work and life, like in LA, let's go ahead and talk about work-life balance in entertainment. So I got out of the game, but all three of you guys are still in that joint. So how are you guys dealing with just, you know, working plus, like, you know, trying to have somewhat normal life now? Like, it's kind of, I don't know. Like, I'm assuming you did your audition virtually, right?
Yes. So the reason I was a little late today was because I was doing a self-tape audition. So I now am a proud owner of a ring light.
All right,
like a real influencer. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
And so I set that up. I bought gray curtains that I can swap out for my kitchen curtains and have a solid backdrop.
All right.
I sort of have it all figured out. And then my friend Jen Kirkman, friend of the show, Bigfoot Collectors Club, and a brilliant comedian, she's been awesome. She's been helping me out with my auditions. So I'll FaceTime. Cool. I'll set up my iPad, so I'm facing her on my iPad. And then I just record on the ring light on my tripod on my phone. And that's kind of the new normal right now. So I send that to my manager. He kind of cuts it together, sends it off to casting, and then I just wait.
Yeah. I feel like the balancing it's rough because like Michael said, you know, you never know when a gig's coming, or you never know when an audition, something like that's coming. So it's almost like there is a constant level of stress that you have. And I know since I do freelance film and act, I also have the double like amount of stress of booking something in the film world and then getting a commercial agent audition or a commercial audition. They're like, hey, can you make this or whatever? And I'm like, I already booked.
Yeah.
You know,
that
like
happened to you recently, didn't it?
It did.
We had a shoot and you had.
It was like, I had, what sucked was I didn't look at the shoot date, and I did the audition and got the call back. And then I saw the call back and I was like, okay, now it's serious, you know, because like I keep thinking like the audition's not a thing. But then I do the callback and I see the shoot date was when we were going to be in San Francisco, me and Riley.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I was like, I text my agent, email my agent or whatever, and she was not very happy with me.
Yeah, agents love that. It's their favorite thing when you bail on a callback.
They only like it when you've booked, when the other job is another commercial. That's the only time they're thrilled with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And she was not happy. She was like, can you move your plans? I was like, no, I cannot, because there is a buyout for the commercial that doesn't, and I can make a lot more money doing what I'm doing here, and not a lot of people are going to see me in this commercial, so I'm not going to, but I would never, like, if I book something, I'm not going to just all of a sudden, you know, be like, oh, hey, I got a commercial, I'm not going to do it, you know. Unless it's like a flow type situation where it's like millions of dollars to be the spokesperson or something, maybe I'll do it. But it's a constant like stress. And then also on top of that, if you are busy and you're working, then the family life is like, you know, put pressure on that because I'm not spending enough time with my wife, and you know, she might be upset because I'm not doing, you know, my part in the relationship. So yeah, man, it's hard to balance, but you find things, you find ways. You know.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I would never trade freelance life for like a straight job. I don't know. I've had opportunities and had moments when I've thought about it, but I just can't. Like the freelance thing is stressful because you kind of feel like you've never finished your day at work forever. That's just how it is. You're just like always like keeping track of things in your head and a little bit worried and like thinking about booking your next thing and like juggling this schedule. Like, I mean, Michael knows well about the way that between Michael, Bryce, and I juggling all of our schedules, trying to make our show every week and make a Patreon. And it's like, it's crazy that it all gets done. And then we're all just, hustling all the time.
And I feel like even if you do got a 9 to 5, it's not like your job anymore ends at 5 o'clock. You're still bringing that work home with you too.
That's
I know
true.
that with the people in my life who have that gig. So why not do the freelance thing? Be just as stressed as a 9 to 5er. Maybe not. I think the trade-off is just not having that,
Stability.
steady paycheck that you can count on.
Definitely.
But
there's moments of feast and famine, especially as like entertainment industry freelancer. It's like it's really good and then it's really scary, but it always kind of comes back around to really good again.
And then when it's really scary and then something good comes along, it's like a straight shot of endorphins. It's just
it's like I knew I did it. I knew I was doing the right thing.
You really feel like God exists and He loves me. He was planning this whole time.
It is His will.
Yeah, Riley, you would die if you had to do a 9 to 5, dude.
I really
mean,
would.
this
I'm
is
not
a man
cut out for it.
This is a man who does not like to check his phone at all. You would not enjoy that. You would die, dude.
I would.
You would die.
You're very patient with me with those things, though.
It's okay. If I gotta be the nag, I'll be the nag. But it's all right.
I don't.
We've worked out our dynamic.
I was about to say I might be the nag to Drew, honestly.
Yeah, he always be saying, "Hey, that episode episode's coming up in 3 days. You got to edit it." I'm like,
"Oh, that's a text I sent like an hour ago."
Literally an hour.
Hey, Drew, there's a one coming up. Let's get it together.
Michael and I coined the term "friendly reminder." That's how I was like. I told him, I was like, "Look, I need deadlines. I need reminders. Just say friendly reminder, and then we'll always know it's not passive aggressive."
Yeah,
you two are the same.
It is always very easy for me to, because I do get a little type A with that stuff, and it's just, I think honestly, it's just my upbringing in like theater school, and then having like call time. So I'll fire out, be like, "Hey guys, be here at 5 o'clock. Let me know, and I can just sound very unintentionally sort of curt, And so whenever I have to do something like that, and be like, I'm always have that moment of anxiety where I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna sound like a dick doing this, and then inevitably me trying not to sound like a dick, I sound like a dick.
That's what does it. Yeah.
Nah, dude, you can't, Michael. You can't even trip on that. You know how many times I've called Drew and been like, "Bruh, I'm sorry. I know I was a dick earlier. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
I've had a few of those moments with the boys.
Just please upload the episode and let's do this job.
Dude, no, we were talking business because we were thinking about, all right, we're going to try and make this season, because the first two seasons were one thing, but we're going to try to make this season different. We're going to, like, put our, best foot forward. We're going to do all this stuff. And then, like, as things started coming in, like, I was buying things or whatever. I was trying to get stuff for the show and make it right and paying for advertisement or whatever. And then, like, I was like, "Hey, Pat, we should keep track of our money." I didn't hear from Pat for, like, 2 days. And I was like, "Pat, what's going on?" And he was sour about the money thing. And I was like, no. I'm not talking about I want you to pay me back. I'm saying, like, we should keep track in case we make money. We should, like.
I was just like, man, this motherfucker bringing in money into it right now. We're not like 2 episodes into this shit. Like, what the fuck? Anyway,
he's just trying to come up with a cool idea.
I know. I was so bummed. I was like, we're on a stride right now. I was like, I gotta think about this. I'm not even gonna call this full back right now.
Here's the thing. There's a whole thing with business and friendship. It's like you have to take some of those feelings out to actually make things like work, because if you do have feelings about, you're gonna catch them, and then you're gonna be pissed off.
Well, it's like, I feel like it really is like, and I'm not a musician, but Riley and I have discussed this, how like doing a podcast is really kind of like having a band, and I feel like this is the first time I've really experienced that long-term dynamic, because you're also not only dealing with like friendship, business, but then also artistic styles too, and just work ethics. And we're lucky that the three of us, between Riley, Bryce, and I, we have extremely strong work ethic. I really feel that way. We might work in a little bit different ways, but for the most part, we come to it all comes together in a way that ultimately we all know we're on the same page. You know, definitely. But it is funny. Like, I think the one like dynamic hurdle for Riley and I is like Riley. Like I'll hit a thing where suddenly I'm having like a scheduling crisis and I'm trying to like get a hold of the boys, and then Riley will get back to me 48 hours later and be like, I was at the lake. I didn't use my phone. And I was like, I don't care. Just tell me you're going to the lake so I don't know why you're not talking to me.
I feel like that's a new Bigfoot Collectors Club t-shirt. I was at the lake.
That's really good.
Yeah. So
it's
mysterious.
Good. Yeah, it's just Riley in a canoe with Nova looking at the stars.
And there's like a Loch Ness monster in the background or something like that.
Yeah,
exactly. Just
something something different. Something.
I like that. You're hired.
I don't know why. I feel like this might be weird. This might be weird, but I feel like there's some kind of nudity aspect to this T-shirt. Or you know, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Drew.
It could be Riley running through the woods with the wolves. You know, and tastefully covering genitalia.
The wolf tail.
Yeah, covering.
Love it. So. I was curious because we usually don't have a pint koozie. This is a thing that I've never seen before. So I took it out of the sleeve. This is not a Birdsong branded pint glass, but I wanted to see how dark it was. Look how dark
it's
pretty dark.
That's like black coffee, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyways.
And you would think.
Nice. I don't drink a lot of beer anymore, but when I get a craving, I tend to go towards like a stout or
a brown ale.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like.
Are you a Guinness guy?
Love Guinness. Yeah.
You're an Irish drinker, huh?
Biologically, I have some Irish blood in me. Yes, so I guess that makes sense. A lot of English, Scottish, and Irish. That's pretty much. But I do love. It's funny. I either like to go really dark or really light. Like I love like a blonde or like a summer lager. Like something really light like that. I used to drink IPA for a while, like during the 2015 Royals season when they went all the way and won the World Series. I'm from Kansas City, I think I mentioned. I really got into a superstitious pattern where I would have to drink an IPA with every game. And then I would end the game when Wade Davis, our closing pitcher, would come out, I would switch to Sauvignon Blanc, which is like not a great idea. If you've had a lot of IPA and then you switch to white wine all of a sudden.
Rough combo.
It's a rough combo, but it was, I was superstitious.
They had to win.
I had to stop drinking IPA and really cut back on the white wine after that season because I got a little too drunk too often.
Yeah.
And some of these, we're talking like day games where I was like really watching them and I had nothing to do. And I'd be like, all right, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Here we go.
You got to do your part.
I've been there. Bro, golfing, my family. So anytime I go down and visit my dad and my brother, he's always like, yo, we should go golfing in the morning. It's like, my dad's retired now and my brother doesn't do shit. So we're like, all right, let's go golfing in the morning. And that always entails like an 8 a.m. tee off, 12-pack in the cooler. Let's go ahead and do 9 holes. Let's not do the whole thing.
18.
That shit's gone by the time. Make it. No, it's like it's like me and my brother are driving the cart, right? And we're like, so when do we crack this beer? And it's usually immediately after we get the cart. So it's like I'll reach back and be like, all right, here we go.
It's like it's an excuse for you. It's just like airport beer.
It's more than an excuse.
Beer.
My dad fucking hates it. My dad hates it. He's like, Pat, what? Like, if you ever meet my dad, he's kind of a brash New Yorker, right? So he's like, Pat, what the fuck? Like, why are you yelling all in the course? It's 9 a.m. And I'm like, Dad, I treat this thing like a sport. You got to cheer for it. You got to be psyched about it. And like, anytime you hit the ball real good, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, here we go. Yeah. And like, my brother's like, bro, there's people on this course. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. They're like 100 years old. Like, let's treat this thing like it's the World Series. And I purposely dress up in like the wackest gear there's ever been. Like, purposely, like the most the most floral thing you've ever seen shirt. Like I'll tuck my socks into my pants. Like we get super weird, you know, like fully 1930s golf. Yeah. If I had like a golfer cap thing, I would totally wear it. But yeah, they hate going golfing with me.
Were you the life of the party? Like were you the kid in high school that like saw the guy in the old movies wear a lampshade on his head? So you're like, I'm gonna put this lampshade on my head and keep this party alive. You're like that party. You're party clown. You're the party clown. Right?
No, not necessarily. But I will definitely keep it going if it's starting to die. I'm not about ending a party. I'm definitely not the ender.
I think he just likes fucking with his family. I love
fucking with family.
Yeah, I don't think he's that character, but he's that. He's like. Yeah, he's
Listen, I apologize. I feel like I offended you for suggesting party clown.
No. My shame.
I want to walk that back.
We're all on podcasts here. We're all party clowns.
My shame and my offending me has gone out the window a long time ago. Believe me. You can ask my wife. I will fucking make fun. Like I will do things that I think are pretty okay, but then they just embarrass the shit out of her all day. All day.
Speaking of. Happy Hour Quick Sixer podcast.
Yeah, speaking of, she has headphones, like noise-canceling headphones outside the door. But anyways, so speaking of fun podcasting things, let's talk about Bigfoot Collectors Club. So you are two of the three, the tripod of this thing. Let's hear about it.
Riley, why don't you kick it off?
I like being referred to as a tripod.
You are a tripod. I love it. You're so technical, Riley.
That's good. Bigfoot Collectors Club is a comedy paranormal podcast. It's hosted by this fella right there, if you're watching in gallery mode, Michael McMillian, and Bryce Johnson, who's not here because he's off working on a very secret project.
R.I.P. Bryce.
No, he's fine.
He went to the afterlife. He's going to report back.
Yeah.
It's going to be mind-blowing for our show. It's really going to take us to the next level.
He's still hosting, but he's dead.
That's how good of a paranormal podcast we are, yeah. But yeah, we have
actually dead. No.
We have guests every week, amazing guests, actors, comedians, musicians, paranormal experts. We interview them about their personal paranormal history, and we share stories of high strangeness. The stories of high strangeness have kind of evolved into almost like a radio play that I score, and every week Michael and Bryce research and write about different paranormal topics.
And Riley's modest when he says I score, but like it's been awesome watching the evolution of this take place, because originally when we started the show, there was no real musical element to it at all, other than the theme song, which is, I just want to shout out Sun Eaters, who wrote our theme song. But I don't remember. It was almost, I almost want to say it was like close to a year into doing the show.
No,
that Riley,
that long? Wow.
It might be. See, we're coming up on 3 years, which is wild to me. Thank you. If you're listening, Pat gave us silent
clap.
Well, if you could just bring some of that to the golf course, Pat, I think your dad would be a lot happier.
Yeah.
Go ball. But we just, at one point we were like, Riley, we're sitting in this clubhouse, or the studio, which we call the clubhouse, with all of this just, musical, all these instruments, as you can see. And we've got this really talented musician. We're like, Riley should be like making music for these segments of high strangeness. So we started doing them live in studio with the guest, which was really fun. And one of the big bummers about the pandemic was, how are we going to make that work now when we're all doing this online together? And Riley started like composing them during post. And I know, based on his schedule, that he's not spending a whole hell of a lot of time on these.
I'm really not.
But
it's usually one pass.
Yeah, but they've, like, the latest episode we had with Mike Mitchell, and they've all been great, but, like, the Mike Mitchell episode, if you're listening, check it out. It's about Borley Rectory. Like, Riley is, in the past month or two, is like bringing in, like, John Carpenter level, like accompaniment to the show. I mean, it is taking our show to, I feel like, next level, and I feel like I can only brag about it because I have nothing to do with that aspect of it. So it's just awesome when Bryce has spent time researching these topics, and then because we kind of write out a script, it's almost like doing an essay or a book report every week. And as Riley said, we've started to include more of our guests into doing dialogue for it. But man, the music is just getting incredible, and now I'm like telling people like, listen to this for the soundtrack. Like I think like within a few months we could release like a High Strangeness soundtrack.
Cool. Yeah, we've been talking about it, and people have been starting to ask about it. Yeah.
Like it's really cool. So that's my long ass winded way of saying we're very lucky to have a engineer and producer who's not only like provides all the equipment and the editing to do this show, but then is also like this brilliant fucking accompanist and on top of it, and composer. So
I feel like that's me with like Pat with me, because every time I send him something like graphic wise or whatever, he's like, dope, love it, can't wait. He starts posting it, and I'm like, cool. but like obviously my shit, I know how talented Riley is, so that's awesome that you guys are in full swing with that, and you're found your groove with his music, and that's cool.
Well, it's nice because then that like inspires Bryce and I to pick up our game and go, all right, let's add a little bit more dialogue, and maybe this is a cool place, there could be some sound effects here. So it used to be the stories of High Strangeness. And when I say that, if you're listening, you're not aware of the show, we're talking about stories like the Roswell crash or the Hopkinsville Goblin incident. These stories from history about haunted houses or UFO encounters or alien abductions or weird monsters. It really forces us to think creatively about it, and originally it was just kind of us bringing it in individually as sort of a surprise for that day, and now I feel like it's really become a situation where the three of us are bringing our strengths to it, and it's a nice way to stay invested and excited about making the show.
Yeah, I agree. I think we all kind of like keep like raising the bar a little bit on each other, and just seeing like how far we can push this thing. And also, thanks, Michael. I feel very appreciated. That's really nice.
I mean, I love you to death.
Yeah, love
it's
fest.
True.
Likewise.
Happy hour. This is a happy, making me happy, making everybody happy.
I mean, believe yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I would love you regardless. I'd love you if your music was shit and you're still making it for the show.
Trash.
It would be awesome. But the fact that you're doing it and it's incredible is also awesome. I don't love you any less.
I feel like this is where he says, I wouldn't tell you if I didn't like it.
No, of course not.
I mean, look, right? I would be thrilled regardless. But the fact is, it's sort of like when you have, and this is not to condescend to Riley, but I feel like it's a parent where you're like, hey, man, I'm just happy that my kid is playing the game and out there and giving it an effort. And then the difference between that and a parent who's like, and again, I'm not his dad, I'm not trying to make you a kid. But the difference between like, holy fucking shit, did you see what my kid just did out there? He's fucking incredible.
Go at Allstate.
Yeah.
So Pat, should I tell them about Jane and the Gray Portal Kid story?
Ooh.
In 1 sec you should.
Okay.
There's
You about to
so
do
I don't know. Yeah. So
damn.
that brown, I don't usually drink brown ales, but that was really nice. So, shout out to Birdsong again.
Shout out to Birdsong.
But speaking of high strangeness, let's get into this jalapeno pale ale.
Whoa.
This is some high strangeness right here.
That is.
So
I'm so nervous about it.
Yeah, that sounds
intimidating. So I'm gonna hit you with some facts on this, and this is gonna make it even scarier. All right, Drew.
Oh.
Yeah. Hold on. What's holding gun?
Oh. They even say on the can, is it spicy?
So boys, here we go.
Which is that's just shorthand for, will it burn coming out of my dick hole?
Yeah. So it's normal lager looking color, right? But
I smell it. I smell the jalapeno.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Shit. I'm scared.
So they use 40 pounds of fresh jalapenos in each batch. They remove about 90% of the seeds. First canned in 2015. This is the first beer they ever put in cans. Yeah. Hold on.
It definitely tastes like a fresh jalapeno, but like it's not.
Yeah.
I like
it. Smells like one too. It kind of smells like.
Yeah.
At first, I thought you were saying they were claiming that was the first canned beer.
It's the first canned beer ever, bud.
Ever.
Michael, this is
Don't
it.
Don't question us. This is a podcast.
History right here.
They're authorities on beer. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah. No,
They
this is
have a
kind of cool.
podcast.
So we kind of do. Yeah. So speaking of actually on the internet. Oh man, us internet people. This says this pairs good with pizza, tacos, and barbecue. Best pepper beer out there. This is their number one selling canned beer. So that's kind of crazy, honestly.
I've never seen a pepper beer in the first place.
No.
That's cool.
But
is it spicy?
When you guys were talking about stepping things up, I think this is a way that these people are stepping things up. Like maybe we'll see more, like,
yeah, because there's always been trends in the beer world. There's always like some kind of trend that everybody's trying to follow.
Yeah. Different kinds of fruits people are using.
Maybe pepper's coming next.
Maybe, but I wanted to say something about you guys were talking about how when Riley steps shit up with his scores and stuff, then you and Bryce, Michael, step up your game. It's kind of the same way with me and Drew, only Drew will be like, yo, I did this. I taught myself how to animate something. And I'm like, oh, it's sick. Let's see it. And then he'll like send it. And I'm like, nah, you should change this thing. And he's like, all right, cool. And then he changes it, sends it back. And I'm like, all right, dope. That's cool. Let's post that. And then I'm like, fuck. Well, Drew's doing all this stuff. So I'm like, how do I step it up, So my idea of stepping it up is like, all right, we'll see how many more different companies of beers I can get sent to his house, And
that's important. That's integral to the show. That's like booking a guest.
It is booking a guest. It's like I booked 3 guests for this episode, Drew doesn't count.
Congratulations.
So, thank you.
That is difficult to do.
They were all on schedule too. It's I don't know, man. But that's how I feel about it. It's like we've had the last Drew, how many last 10 episodes were?
Yeah. We were only on sponsor for the first three or 4 episodes, I think,
of this show.
And then of the season. Yeah. But it's cool, and I feel like having a podcast that's heavily about one thing, which is beer, it's easy to get sponsors because people want to talk about beer. I mean,
unless you're doing a show about Bigfoot and UFOs, in which case it's the look, we have a podcast that's part of a cottage industry, I would say, but but is thankfully relevant right now. I feel like,
bro. I was talking to Drew about this not that long ago. I was like, man, they kind of had a thing, and then they honed it. But there was probably some kind of audience there that they just were they wanted it, Like there was probably an audience there that needed your show. Yeah. And then when you guys made it, they were just like, fuck, this is our thing, Like this is the show we've been waiting for.
There's always an audience for that strange, weird thing, Yeah. I mean, it's X-Files showed that, all these shows that got really popular. It even came back. What did y'all do? Any coverage about the new X-Files or those stories that came out?
Funnily enough, we really haven't done an X-Files resurgence stuff because I was a huge X-Files fan growing up. Turns out, Riley, you were too.
Oh yeah, massively. Yeah.
Turns out our co-host, who should be the most X-Files out of all of us, Bryce Johnson, has never seen the X-Files.
It's just makes no sense at all.
I've kind of got it sitting in the left wing thinking, okay, at some point we have to either on the Patreon or somewhere on the show do we're gonna make Bryce watch the X-Files and talk about it. But I've already tried to do this with him in Twin Peaks, and he's a very stubborn student. Where Bryce is great. Bryce is honestly one of my favorite people on the planet. sometimes getting him to sit down and focus is a little tough.
Hard. Yeah.
Which is really funny when you hear him complain about trying to get his son to do Zoom distance learning schooling. Because I'm like, buddy, I think I know how this feels.
Yeah.
Every week.
Right.
But I think it's there. And full disclosure, I have not seen the final season that just came out a year or so ago. Okay. I saw the first reboot season, but I haven't sat down and watched the second reboot season because I didn't have cable at the time or like live TV at the time. It was like when I switched to streaming, and then it wasn't available for a minute, and then I just haven't gotten around to it. But I will.
Honestly,
because I hear there's a brilliant Bigfoot episode in the final like 6 episodes, 6 or 10 episodes. Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the audience thing you guys were talking about, like I think there is a huge paranormal audience out there. There's tons of people that are interested in it as a podcast topic, and I think the tone that we found and what like we got lucky with, and I think works for us, is a lot of the paranormal stuff is like very serious, you know, and or it's like making fun of it, and like these people are crazy, and it's like there's not a lot. I mean, there's definitely some podcasts in a similar vein as ours, but where it takes the topic seriously and it takes people's experiences seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously, and it's funny. Like we want to have fun. Life is funny, and weird things are funny too. So, you know, I think that, like you said, like there were a lot of people that just wanted that. Like, because it's an interesting way of like looking at these strange things in life that kind of open up broader questions. And
I wanted that. Like I pitched the show to Bryce originally, and I'm a huge podcast listener. Like I almost have an illness with it. Like I went from being like very aware of like the cool indie bands and really being into music to suddenly at around, you know, my mid to late 30s kind of making this strange transition into almost exclusively listening. I still listen to music, but like exclusively listening to podcasts. And I'm not sure where that started. I think it began with doing like road trips back to Kansas City and just wanting to have company, and then with the advent of just like how much easier it was to get them on your phones and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of Last Podcast on the Left, and I'm a big fan of My Favorite Murder. And the thing that I always thought was, you know, Last Podcast, they go paranormal and true crime. And then My Favorite Murder really corners that true crime. And I kept thinking, why isn't there a podcast that sort of goes the other direction and really tries to corner the paranormal and the unexplained? So that's really the beginning of this idea came from that. Going, I want that, because I love Coast to Coast. I love Coast to Coast AM. Yeah. But it's also not what it used to be, you know. And you know, when you get like when you get episodes where like George Norrie is getting his good buddy Roger Stone on the show to like talk about how, you know, how like beleaguered he is and ill-treated he is. I'm like, well, why the fuck do I want to listen to this guy about ghosts and UFOs now? You know what I mean? Like Art Bell. I mean, and look, there was an era of George Norrie that I love, and I really love him as a radio personality, but I started to go, you know, this show isn't passing the sniff test anymore. They're trying to actively feed us some kind of bullshit. Yeah. And I just wanted to be like, let's get back to the stories. And look, our personalities are a big part of the show. We're obviously 3 pretty liberal guys. We've gotten yelled at a couple times for being a little too left-leaning, but honestly, most of our audience is too. But we're not trying to do anything but sort of like check in with what's happening now with UFOs and the paranormal, and then talk to our guests about their personal paranormal history and any weird experiences they've had, and then preserve some of these stories and archive some of these stories and try to retell them the best we can, all in sort of the effort to have fun with it at the end of the day and keep it entertaining, but then also destigmatize the experience of having something that you can't explain, because that's, I think, all become really important to us is don't just call somebody nuts because they've seen something weird. let's acknowledge that they believe they've seen something weird and then try to take it from there. Sometimes we might go, maybe this person is struggling with some mental health issues, but most of the time we really feel like they've seen something that defies the laws of physics and reality, and we ultimately find that fascinating, and that's what it should be about.
Yeah. I really like your first episode that you kind of set it up like, look, this is what we're going to get into, so I'm going to go ahead and put my vulnerability out. I'm going to say what happened to me or what my paranormal experience was, and so that I'm not trying to like pick on other people or whatever. It made it very clear, and it was pretty concise, and I really liked that because it was very you connected with it. Yeah,
because I struggle with having a couple weird things that I can't explain, and as somebody who's also suffered from like night terrors, and when I get anxious I have like late night hallucinations. I'm very aware of how I'm gonna sound, and then also that stuff is just scary. So I feel like I know the difference between, okay, this is my brain being overactive, and then something that is standing outside my window that me and my 2 dogs see at 4:00 in the morning and truly was terrifying, that my dogs are the ones who alerted me to. And I can't explain to this day, and never will be able to explain in my entire life. So that I'm glad. Thanks for saying that, because it's and then also on top of that, to be a guy who's trying to like make it in a very public arena, to go, well, are we gonna sound? And I think Bryce, maybe he hasn't said this so much, but I think Bryce also has kind of struggled with that too, just being like, look, can we pursue being an actor that's taken seriously, which is already a hard thing to do, and then also be actors that are who are open to the idea of Bigfoot existing, But I think we find that a lot of people are interested in this topic.
Yeah, and more people have experiences than you would expect. I think that's the other thing we learned is like, because that's the thing I thought about. I was like, we're gonna ask all these actors and comedians and musicians like every week, like, so you ever seen a ghost? And like ask all these people to take the subject seriously too. And what's been amazing is that they pretty much all do, and pretty much everyone's had an experience. Even a lot of times they come on and they start and they're like, oh, nothing's ever happened, and they're like, oh, but this one time, I talked to a ghost in depth. Like, it's just like so that's what's up. Yeah, it's cool.
So I know I sent you guys some notes before this, but like I said, there's some shit's gonna come up since we're as we go through this thing. So I was thinking about it. This won't apply to me or Riley, but Michael, I know you've done some paranormal-esque roles, and Drew, I know you have a fucked up mind. So do you think just your, I don't know, acceptance of some of this stuff is like maybe influence how you may like maybe audition for a role, or you think about a character? Or
interesting.
Do you think it influenced you at all? Like, oh, I think I'm going to take this character a little bit more serious because I actually think that whatever this person's going through could actually happen.
Well, I'll tell you this. I have not thought about that exclusively in regards to the podcast, but I really love that question. And that actually taps into something that they teach you in theater class, which is never judge the character that you're playing. In the old example, and it's a bit of a broad one, but the idea of, if you're playing a bad guy, don't play him as a bad guy. Play the bad guy as the guy who thinks he's the good guy. If you're Lex Luthor, you really believe that Superman is bad, and this is why. That's a good example. Yeah. And the one we would get in theater class a lot is like, and none of us ever got this role, oddly enough, but if you're playing Hitler, you don't play Hitler as the evil dictator Nazi. You play Hitler as the guy who thinks he's doing the world a big fucking favor. Yeah. And that, I think, does two things. One, it makes that character immediately more complex. It sort of prevents the actor from doing the old mustache twirling melodrama and just being like, well, he's a bad guy, so I'm going to play him like a fucking bad guy.
Psychopath, yeah.
It's very, and that's very general because it's like, okay, well, what's a psychopath?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's get specific about it. And then the other is that no one in their narrative believes that they are the bad person. Now, arguably, there are some. Iago comes up in Shakespeare. He plainly tells the audience, I'm doing this because I'm a villain. But even then, okay, now we've actually have the text support, the text support, not tech support, but the text, the words.
We had tech support. We had IT on this Shakespeare. Here we go.
But that's a case where the author and the words are actually telling you how the character sees themselves. And then you get to kind of go, all right, this guy thinks he's a bad guy. Why? And then if he's just doing this to fuck with people, why? What's his expectation? What is he going to get out of it? So, there are always the exceptions that break the rules. But for the most part, people go through their lives thinking that they're the hero in their own story.
Sure. Yeah. But, I mean, has that ever influenced you personally? Like, you're like, all right, well, I believe that this dude is, definitely believes in this type of paranormal shit. So I'm going to go full on, like, this guy is definitely going to believe this. Or
I try to do that. I guess what I'm trying to say is I try to approach every character that way already. I've never thought of it in terms of, like, linking that to the idea of, like, the witnesses into maybe I'm misunderstanding the question, but like witnesses of the unexplained. I haven't made that connection, but I think that is a very smart and astute connection, because it's just, I think the connection that you're making is that at the end of the day, people experience their own reality through whatever veil that they experience it. And they have to believe if they think they saw a ghost, even if they're wrong, even if they just actually saw a cat caught in a sheet running across a countertop that knocked over a vase, I think most of us would be able to recognize that. But but even if they're wrong, they still think that they've experienced that. And you have to treat that person's experience as real to them. And I think that translates to characters that you're playing 100%. Even if you know that character is making a mistake, or even if you know because you've read the whole script that ultimately they're supposed to be the bad guy, you have to look at them and be like, well, they're experiencing this story in a very different way than Superman is. And so why are they looking at Superman in a different way than Lois Lane is, and in a different way that the audience would be?
I see. How about you, Drew?
Speaking of perspective versus reality, I think I should just go, like, I feel like that he summed it up very well. I really don't have much to say to add to that, but I think I could tell them the Jane and the Grey Portal story, because this kind of relays into this.
How you feel about this real quick? Because I know how I feel about Jane and the Grey Portal story.
Oh, that's good. It's strange. I like it. Catherine, my wife, wanted to try it, so she ran off with it.
Catherine, how you feel about it? No, I'm just playing.
Anyway,
it's nice.
Is it spicy? Is it burn?
It's not too spicy.
Dude, I'm just sipping it. Like, you think you're gonna hit like some kind of, like, sometimes when you hit a jalapeno, you like bite into a jalapeno on a taco or something, and it's like hits you in the back of the throat.
Sure.
Sometimes nothing. It's just like that.
It's just like that fresh jalapeno taste.
Yeah, it's like a fresh flavor. Yeah, it's like a fresh flavor and not like a. But yeah, strap in. You're about to hear
Jane
in the.
Listen, Portal is a trigger word on our podcast.
Is it? Oh, we'll get triggered, bro. Here we go.
In a good way.
You might be looking at me differently after this.
No, I hope. I'm so excited for how you're gonna look at him.
So yeah.
I'm so sad Bryce isn't here all of a sudden.
So this is what's crazy about this is my very first memory, like, of my life. The very first memory I've ever had.
Go in, Drew.
And I've already talked about this on the podcast. It's kind of kismet that we eventually had you guys as guests, because you were all about this and whatever. And I'm sad that I didn't save this story until this, but I'm going to say it again, and our listeners can just enjoy it one more time. I was young, obviously. First memory, 3-ish, maybe 4. And I remember I was staying at this house that had, it was very, like, 2-bedroom-ish, with the hallway that went to the bedrooms and and a couch that like kind of came through the hallway. So basically the hallway is kind of elongated by the couch. Okay. And I remember might have been playing with my brother or something, and I was running and I fell. I actually don't remember why I fell or what I was doing right before running from the hallway. So I fell behind the couch. And I remember I looked back and I saw probably a 6-foot gray portal, like from all like the hallway to the floor, gray portal. And I looked back at it for a couple seconds, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. And like for the longest time, I obviously, as my brain developed and I started getting more memories and things like that, I realized that was strange. Like something was odd about that. And the more I learned about life and learned about, stuff like aliens and all this random other stuff that you learn as you obviously grow older and you see new things and hear new things, I was realizing like, wait, my first memory was a paranormal experience. Like that's the very first thing that I ever experienced. And I always felt like I was different in some way, or I wanted to be different. I rebelled in high school. I tried to dress different or be different or be the class clown, whatever. And I always kept thinking like, I'm straight up an alien. Like something happened, like I might be an alien. But as I developed more, and I really appreciate that as being my first memory, and it's like one of those things of perspective versus reality. There's the human in me knows that I didn't really come from a gray portal, or if I did, it doesn't mean I'm an alien. But I remember thinking for the longest time that was something cool that I got to experience and I got to have that nobody else did, or that I can't, I didn't know anybody else that had that. To have this feeling of like the very first thing that I experienced was this supernatural thing, and I don't know what could have influenced it, because at that time I wasn't watching TV that I could remember. Obviously I didn't have any memories, so I don't know why or what that was, but I don't see it as a mystery anymore. It's just more like, all right, I have a vivid imagination or whatever it may be, but there is a slight chance that I might be an alien.
I'd put it at more than slight, knowing you for a little while. I think this all checks out, to be quite honest.
Whatever y'all just saw me going.
Yeah. Did you just side blink?
I'm about to side blink on y'all.
Wait, dude, you know what you got to do? You got to go do some hypno-regression therapy. You got to go get regressed. That, which is, by the way, our catchphrase. That's how we close every episode. And
oh, really?
You got to go get regressed, Drew.
Got to go get regressed.
Yeah.
Drew, I have a couple questions for you.
Go for it.
I love this story. First of all, so do you think that you popped out of that portal into the hallway?
I think I did. I feel like I did. Or at least for the longest time, I thought that I popped out of the portal. But like, when you get older, or you start. I mean, obviously, you said there's something, because I heard the shadow story that you told with the dogs, and it was just something that you can't explain. You kind of accept it as something you can't explain, right? Mm-hmm. It's just like, I can't explain it. I'll think about it from time to time, but it's just like, all right, this is something I can't explain. I'll move on. And it's kind of like how I felt about the gray portal. It's just that I can't explain it, but I do think that yes, I came from it.
Okay, so next question. Obviously, well, not obviously. Like, were you raised by your parents, like your natural parents?
Mom, yeah.
So your mom obviously remembers a time before you were in the portal, correct?
Yeah. There's baby pictures of me. There's all kinds. So that's what I like. I'll tell. This is really this is pretty personal, which is good. But I've not been shy about being personal in this podcast because I get tipsy. You know what I'm saying? But my relationship with my dad has never been good. Like until I'm gonna say not say never, but maybe like later on in life we became friends and all that stuff. But like they divorced when I was a baby. And so a lot of the times I would always, like when I was a kid, because I didn't have a dad always there, I wish I had a dad, or like I was hoping that maybe there was another dad somewhere that, you know, da da da. So that was like one personal thing as a kid. So it could be some kind of like, I don't know if that has
representation of like, oh, this is the other place I come from. I know I have my mom, but if I'm coasting with you here,
yeah.
It could be, and I'm obviously not a therapist or psychologist, but it could be like, oh, I know my mom is this, but when it comes to the other branch of the tree, it might as well just be a gray portal that I popped out of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, which is because actually I find this fascinating, because also it could just be a thing that it's a memory where there was some sort of paranormal experience happening in your house that just made an impression on you, that maybe you didn't pop out of that portal, or maybe have the memory of looking back and seeing something strange behind you, whether your house was haunted or something else. But and that would actually be my next question. If you're like, have you shared this memory with your mom? Have you talked to her about this at all?
Well, it is deep Mississippi, you know. We just keep that in mind.
You can't
it's deep Mississippi, so we gotta keep that in mind.
Anything psychology related or paranormal related, Mississippi do not they do not fuck with that. So
well, that's okay, great. But I thought you don't have to get too psychology deep, but you could I think you could say, hey, Mom, I know this is going to sound weird. Did you ever see anything weird in that house? Because I have a memory of seeing something strange in the house. And, you know, or not. Don't even offer that.
She's like, oh,
she'll probably ask me
the
why.
Portal? You talking
the
about
great
the
portal that we came from?
Honestly, Riley jokes, but sometimes parents are like, well, I mean, I did see the great portal a lot, but I thought that was maybe just me.
Yeah. No, I feel like, and Jane and the Great Portal Kids. So Jane is the mom, obviously, in that
Shout
situation.
out Jane.
Shout out Jane. Thank you for everything. Thank you for saving me from those aliens.
We talk about Jane way too much on
I
this
know.
show.
I love my mama.
I have one more thought on this, if you'll humor me.
Please.
Which, for me, I've come to learn that I think some of my earliest memories, and this is not to take the wind out of your sails, but just something to think about, and still is interesting.
Take that win, bro. Take that win.
Is that some of my earliest memories, I think, are dreams that I've had, and some of them I think are early memories that replayed themselves as dreams multiple times, recurring as a small child. Because I can remember pretty far back. I remember Christmas when I was 2. I remember my third birthday, and I don't know why, but I have a pretty good memory, an early memory. But I do know that some of those really early childhood memories also get intermixed a little bit with some recurring dreams that I had. Yeah. And some of those were pretty trippy dreams. So I'm also wondering, as you were hearing this, because you were like, I don't remember what happened before. I don't remember what happened after. Well, I just remember being in the hall that I went, oh, I wonder if this is like your little boy brain just dreaming.
I do.
And you remember that.
Yeah. I do remember what happened after.
Okay,
which I guess I didn't share, which was that I was playing with my brother, and so I assumed that we were playing the whole time. But I do definitely agree with you that the dreams that come through, because like I'm the same way. A lot of my memories are dreams that I have, and they're so vivid, and I can't it's like almost scary how they are more vivid than the actual things that happen
100%.
to me.
100%.
But
yeah, and I think about this all the time, because it's also like, I have because I had horrible nightmares as a kid, and those memories are just as real to me as some of my early memories. And then some banal ones, like I have a very vivid memory of my cousin who's 7 months younger than me. She's standing in our grandfather's living room, and she's in a diaper, and she's baby talking. And I remember looking at her and going, oh, she doesn't know how to talk yet. And I'm only 7 months older than her. But I remember this like little smugness of like, oh, she's still a baby. She doesn't know how to talk yet. So what's odd about that is, I would have had to have been under 2 years for that to happen. And that's one of I think that's my earliest memory. But I also remember that happening more than once. I think that happened in real life, and then I dreamt that memory as a recurring dream as a kid, because I also have the memory of going, oh, this is happening again. And my theory has been, and this is based on no science, but my theory has been is like maybe when you're a little kid, your brain starts to warm up the memory machine by replaying some of these little impacts and little recorded memories in your sleep to kind of train your brain to go, okay, we're building up our memory banks here, so let's play the Cousin Katie tape a couple times just to get this little boy's brain into, building up a memory. Now, obviously, there's brain scientists out there that would be like, that's not at all how it works, but I don't know. I have the memory of that.
Michael, if you're telling me there wasn't a gray portal, there was a gray portal.
I'm saying there could be a gray portal, and it could have happened, and then you dreamt it a couple times. I don't know, but I'm just saying those early memories are so tricky because it's like they could be a dream, they could be real. I don't know. I'm fascinated by it.
I will say
I don't disbelieve you.
Thank you. I don't know if I believe most of it, but I mean, it's my own life, and I still have a hard time figuring it out. But anyway, I will say this about reoccurring dreams. Did y'all get reoccurring dreams about it when it came out? Like when like the TV version, Tim Curry, when it came on TV. Why did they put that TV on the TV for kids to watch, and there was a clown in it, and everybody thought, oh, kids can watch that?
I'm gonna let you in on something, Drew. That was not for kids at the time.
I know, but
it just happened so that kids saw it, and not a good look.
There were only 3 channels back then. You saw everything.
You did see everything, but then again, you see Tim Curry in that, and then you see him in Rocky Horror Picture Show, and you're like, who the fuck is this guy?
And then you see him in Clue, and you're like, this is the funniest guy ever.
This is the best guy. Like, I love this guy. Let's go invite this guy over.
Riley,
let's see what's up.
Did you have Tim Curry nightmares?
I didn't. I managed to avoid it. It scared me enough, just like knowing the existence of it, that I was just like, nope. I
rewatched it before the new one. I rewatched it, but right before the new one came out.
To this day, honestly, I don't.
No, it's like way different.
Yeah,
it's way different.
You still haven't seen the original? Well, please don't. Like, I, as the kid in me say, don't. But if you want to debunk your fear of it, you can watch it as an adult. It is still kind of creepy, but in a weird, like, early '90s movie. Was that '90s? What is that?
Yeah,
90s?
yeah. Because I'm older than you guys. I think I know I'm older than Riley, so I assume I'm older than you guys. But so it came out. I think it came out when I was like. Honestly, it might have been the 80s, dude, because I was in elementary school still. So it might have been like at the cusp of the 90s. If someone wants to Google check.
I was born in 88, and it came on TV. So probably 93-ish, I would guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless they replayed it like it came out and then they played it on TV.
They might have.
1990.
That makes sense. So I was in the 5th grade. So I remember, truth be told, read the book as an adult. Never seen the second half of the TV miniseries and never saw the second movie. Because I saw the first half of the TV miniseries as a kid, and I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I'm going to be terrified. And then I remember talking about it with kids at school, and they're like, and then he turns into a big spy. I was like, just tell me what happens, because I'm not going back there. But that, for me, was not... I didn't have nightmares about Tim Curry, but I had nightmares about E.T., and I had nightmares about Michael Jackson at the end of Thriller when he turns to camera and has the yellow eyes. That shit fucked me up. And both of those showed up at my window in my dreams as a kid.
I was literally talking about so Thriller came on. We were driving to the store today, and Thriller came on, and I was like, "Oh shit, Thriller!" I was excited, like, doing the whole thing. And my wife's like, "What the fuck? Like, how do you know these moves? Like, what is going on here?" And I'm like, oh, this shit scared the shit out of me at some point in my life. So it is ingrained in my brain. So, and I was like, oh, man, if you never fuck with Thriller at the time, I'm like, go ahead. It's still creepy.
Dude, that was one of my first cassette tapes, and I used to listen to it on repeat on my little,
fire.
My little boom box.
We forget now, and it was the biggest thing ever. I mean, Thriller was as big as like fucking Star Wars back in the day. Like it was huge. I mean, and I could watch the video part. Any part that was part of the song I was okay with, but the pre-show where he turns into a werewolf and the shot at the very end when he has yellow eyes, I was terrified of.
82.
And that's like, as a kid, I feel like you have such a love-hate relationship with the things that you enjoyed, because you're sort of always navigating in a story like, is this a good part or is this a scary part? You know what I mean? Like you can't kind of step back and see the whole thing as a whole. You're kind of going on the journey the way you would a roller coaster ride. And so I always knew, like, okay, this is the part I do not want to see, but this part I love. But it's funny as an adult going back and discovering now that there's like gaps in movies that I thought I'd seen, but I hadn't seen certain scenes from because I was too scared to see or wasn't allowed to see as a kid. So you kind of go back and fill in those gaps and go, oh my God, I can't believe I was ever terrified of this.
Yeah. The thing that got me like bad as a kid was, did you guys see Ernest Scared Stupid?
Yes. Oh my God. Dude, yes.
That like,
bro, I broke my leg at the time, and like I was sitting up in the bed, like, oh fuck, I got a broken leg. You know, I can't go anywhere. I can't do shit. So my parents just popped me up in a bed, like, oh, just watch TV. You know, you're broken. You know, and I was like, all right, cool. And it was around this time, and yes. Go ahead,
dude,
with this story, because fuck that.
Fuck, seriously, that is not a movie that's appropriate for children.
Not at all.
It like scarred me. But like, there's a part where I don't know if it's a little boy or a little girl. I don't remember that. But she's in bed, just like laying there, and then like flips over, and there's this fucking little troll there that's like, and it's like,
oh no,
like for years I would lay in bed and be like, it's right behind me. I know it's right behind me. It's right.
We
there.
are kindred
right
spirits, my dude. I'm telling you right now.
What I never got was like the generation just under me, like just a couple years, like I mean, we're technically the same generation, but like the kids, like 2 or 3 years behind me is when like Goosebumps got big. Right? Like we didn't have my class, like my age group, we had Choose Your Own Adventure. We had things that were inherently scary for one reason or another, like the troll in the bed, although I guess that's, but then and then we had like, you either had Choose Your Own Adventure or you had Jason or Freddy. You didn't have scary shit that was made explicitly for kids. You just had PG or R. That was all it was. So
right.
It's funny because the kids behind me had like Goosebumps, and there seems to be this whole industry in the like early 90s that was like explicitly Stephen King for little kids or elementary school, whereas like we just had Stephen King. Like we didn't have, you know what I mean?
You're from the harder generation.
Right. Yeah, we had Ghostbusters, and it was like, this is a comedy, but it might also terrify you. Who knows? Who cares?
This is true.
But like, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
That's all past my time. So I have no memories of that stuff. But I meet people as adults who are like, oh my God, I love R.L. Stein.
But like that stuff was all fun. That stuff was never like actually overtly scary. Something about Ernest Scared Stupid. Like
it's whoever, fucked up. Like honestly,
a sadistic person that was in charge of like props.
It's not okay. It's not PG at all.
I've never rewatched.
Terrifying.
I've never I don't want to see it.
I've never rewatched it either. I've never rewatched it. We should
watch it for Halloween. We should watch it for the Patreon.
Bro,
I don't know, man.
Oh my God, you should. Like, straight up, I'm so glad you brought this up. I have never met another person that had the same experience.
Honestly,
I'm like,
me either.
But then again, though, I've never brought it up. You know, I'm just like, no, fuck that movie. You know, I'm never going to see it again.
I've brought it up a couple times, like, to crickets. And, like, so, like, it's really nice to know that someone else was equally scarred by that moment.
Bro, my fear level just jumped. You know what I'm saying?
Like, sweating a little, just thinking about it.
Well, this hot ass light to my right is definitely hitting me, but like, yes, it is. Oh, dude.
I mean,
dude,
also,
I can't
like,
even. I'm gonna look it up right now. What year was this?
There was like
that
scene. Also, Pee-wee's. That movie was also kind of really, like, would fuck with you
Large
as a kid.
Marge.
Yeah.
Large Marge. Oh,
that's a perfect example of like, okay, there's a scary part coming up here. It's also really funny, but it's also scary. And I 50% of the time I'd cover my eyes, and half the time I'd be like, all right, I'm going to be brave enough to watch this part.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Guys. All right.
What?
This is fucked up. All right. So, Ernest Scared Stupid, 1991, is filmed in Shelby Park, Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, damn.
Fuck this. That troll gonna come get me, guys. That troll gonna come get me.
Pat lives, Michael.
God damn it.
Dude, that troll is waiting for you in your bed
Oh,
right
fuck
now.
me.
Damn.
Really? Like, I don't even know where this Shelby... I'm gonna have to look up where this Shelby Park is now.
So funny.
Like,
Yeah,
what
you
the
got to go
hell?
there and face your
Where in
No.
Nashville are you guys? I have friends in East Nashville.
I'm in
Are you guys
LA.
East?
We're
Okay.
towards east. Like,
Okay.
we're that way. A little bit... What East Nashville is like basically a neighborhood, you know.
Yeah.
We're like a few miles east, more east
Gotcha.
than that.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Well,
Um,
I better warn them about the troll as well. I was
Yeah,
just-
you
fuck,
got to.
bro. I don't even know where this Shelby place is. We're all gonna die. This damn troll. Speaking of trolls, I got to bring up our last topic. Speaking of trolls, voting. We need to go and get in. I bragged on last episode. Early poll voting is now in Tennessee. So, your boy went out and early voted.
Nice.
Had to brag on it. Drew already.
Good boy.
Drew already
I'm-
did a breakout clip of it. And it's hilarious.
Oh,
but
it is hilarious.
how you guys feel about voting this year?
I have voted already.
I'm done. I
Yeah.
did it yesterday.
Nice. Congrats.
Fucking
Yeah.
cheers to you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
Kanye,
I'm
baby. Just kidding.
Kanye. I'm like
Definitely did not
3/4 of the
vote
way
for
with my
Kanye.
ballot.
Can someone explain to me why he ended
Vice
up as
president.
vice president?
What
the fuck
happened?
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
get any news.
No
I don't-
one has the answer to this. What is this?
I don't know. You know what's a bigger question is that all of these crazy people think that JFK Jr. is still alive, and he's gonna replace Pence. Can you replace
What?
a vice
That's a
president?
QAnon. That's a
God.
Yeah,
full-on
yeah.
QAnon
That's
conspiracy.
all
No,
the
it's
whole
true
other-
for real. People think this, and I'm
Also,
like,
I will tell
how?
you, I was on Martha's Vineyard the day that JFK
Homie
Jr.
died.
died.
Michael.
Okay.
Michael.
Whoa.
So was
Yeah.
I.
What?
Holy shit!
Yeah. dude.
Riley,
What?
It's the
seriously?
only time I've ever been there. That's
Oh my
fucking
god!
crazy, dude.
Whoa, we
Wait.
were on the same island together on the
True.
same day.
We were like
and it was a
kids.
tragedy.
On
Dude,
the day
that's
of a
big-
tragedy that a Kennedy
What
died.
a weird Bigfoot Collectors Club synchronicity.
There you go.
Holy
That's
shit.
crazy. Honestly.
So-
That's super crazy.
I was teaching summer theater there, actually, at a summer camp.
Okay.
And I was hanging out with a college friend of mine. She and I would go down to the beach every day. And the beach where the plane parts washed up on was this, I think they've renamed it back to the original Native American name, which I can't remember, and I apologize. But at the time, it was called Gayhead. It was called Gayhead Beach. I wonder why they renamed it.
I mean,
But
it's
we
very
hadn't-
weird. It's
But
weird.
Abby and I hadn't been down to that beach yet, and so we're like, let's go down there today. And we
Yeah.
had already heard on the news the night before that the plane had crashed or gone missing. So we were pulling up to the beach and were stopped by like a police roadblock. And they're like, beach is closed. You got to turn around. And we're like, what's happening? It's like, we have a lot of debris washing up on shore. So all the wreckage was showing up there.
shit.
And we went back. And then it was like, then they discovered the body and everything. So
Jeez.
it all washed. I was there the day I saw the site where it all fucking washed
Yeah,
up.
it
It's a
happened.
tragedy. It sucks. It happened. Move on with your fucking lives.
Dude, everyone's
But
going to
still,
say that
though-
we're plants now that we're both claiming to have
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Kids.
y'all
That's
straight
wild.
Conspiracy theory.
I'm kind of
But-
glad I brought up this crazy so you guys can make that
I'm
connection.
more interested in the
that's-
fact that like Riley and I may have been like
walked by each other or
walked
something.
by each other on
Yeah.
a beach in Martha's Vineyard one summer.
It's so cute.
You would have been like a little kid. I was like,
Yeah.
you would have been like, I was well,
No,
maybe
not a
not.
little
I was
kid. I was, I think, junior high. I'm not that much
yeah,
younger than you.
12.
It's like
you would
a-
have been. I was like 19 or 20.
It was the
so you would have
wasn't
been.
it? It was the year that Blair Witch Project. Oh no, it came out right because I remember we watched a screener of Blair Witch Project on that
Yeah.
on that trip because I was there at my friend's
Oh.
parents' house and his dad's like a executive, so they're all bougie and have a place in Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, a lot of bougie
Yeah.
A lot of booze.
summer parties I went to because I remember I
you
saw
go.
A
American
lot of booze, a lot of
Pie
booze.
in Oaktown. Saw American Pie that summer there, and I was
did?
like literally felt like I was living in a summer that looked exactly like the the movie America. I was like,
Yeah.
It was all teenagers in the theater, who were all just came from the beach. And I was like, I feel like I'm in American Pie. I feel like I'm in this movie this summer. Yeah. And like went to these like amazing house parties out in the middle of the woods. Got like doing keg stands for the first time in my life.
I love it.
Smoking way too much, taking like painkillers, and then being like, I love, just like getting
I love
this
Sierra. The Sierra's so good. Speaking of, this is the year of dreams, 1999. We've talked about this before. This is the best year ever in human history.
It was the peak.
I mean, other than the fact that JFK died a horror.
I mean, but like he couldn't hang, apparently. So 1999, year of dreams. We talked about it on this show quite a few times.
Why is it the year of dreams?
Oh my God! Look up 1999. That's why.
Remember 1999.
American Pie. I'm pretty sure Britney Spears debuts. I'm pretty sure all of that pop movement happens.
Zinc and Backstreet.
Yeah, we talked about this before on the episode that just posted today that Riley's on. We talked about pop music and how it had just this crazy bubble that happened.
I remember
and
that.
I'm pretty sure 99 is when it happened.
I remember being initially pissed that music was taking over like the grunge stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, 1999 might be the best year in pop culture history.
And there was like
Spice Girls were big that year too.
Oh yeah,
huge,
of course.
Huge. We talked about them too.
I feel like there was also like a weird internet sensation going on around that time as well. And especially
AOL,
40 hours free. That disc in the mail,
hitting hard.
40 hours free.
Hitting hard.
You know what I'm talking about.
The mailbox, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be on this all 40 hours, all the time. But then it took you 40 hours to get on that bitch, God, Mom, what the fuck?
I was
chatting. I was chatting with the hottie down the street.
Teen chat.
This is teen chat. Stuff I have no memories of. This is past my time.
Oh no.
I was just on college internet. I was just on college internet. I would just go to the college, and then didn't have internet for a while because I didn't grow up with it. So like, I was just like, I don't care. Meanwhile, you guys are all doing AOL chat, and I had no idea.
Legit though, my wife had like 9 screen names on AOL chat, and I knew them all. And she was the only person I chatted with at the time. We've known each other for like 20 years.
That's amazing.
So, thank you. It's kind of crazy. I mean, hold on. All right, so I'm going to bring up this thing. Best 20 things you wouldn't believe happened in 1999. Real quick. Let's see if this webpage loads real quick. Just so I can prove to you 1999 was the best year ever.
Oh, God. Okay? Heck, let's give it up.
Y2K, ruining computers. Okay. PayPal was called one of the worst business ideas of the year.
This is why.
Hotmail accounts used that happened.
Ooh,
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire premiered.
Good show.
iBooks were advertised. DVD players were just starting to happen.
That was big for me. That was a game changer for me.
Mm-hmm. Napster.
Love DVD players.
Napster. I think
Napster.
That was the pinnacle of music getting to the people.
Britney Spears is on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Teen Choice Awards happened.
I remember that cover. She's in the
TRL was still a thing. The Euro was first introduced.
Oh. Whoa. TRL was the thing.
Yeah, NSYNC was opening for Janet Jackson.
And to think,
some other bullshit.
And then think Justin was gonna pull her bra down.
Yeah, I know.
Years later.
I know. SpongeBob first aired, first year.
99. That's when it started.
Yeah, Sixth Sense came out.
See, that's never. Yeah, for me
Wait,
too.
What came out?
Sixth Sense.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Bill Gates talked about smartphones for the first time. Yeah, he's born then.
He put his first microchip in a suburban mom.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. But yeah, those are just some highlights. I'm telling you, 1999.
That's a good highlights, Pat.
The year of dreams. You know what I'm saying?
SpongeBob is
seen an.
Oh, you.
Never seen a highlight. Episode. Never seen a single episode of SpongeBob.
Bro, that's the gap between me and Grace.
You know, Michael, I don't get the thing with SpongeBob. I'm totally with you. I don't get it. I'm more of a Scooby-Doo type of guy, you know?
Well, and like, didn't you guys watch Ren and Stimpy?
I was going to say, Ren and Stimpy was like, that's where it peaked.
But that's, I've learned, because Grace is younger than me, and she came up on SpongeBob, and so I've watched SpongeBob with her, and I'm like, oh, this is Ren and Stimpy. Like, this is your
that's all inspired by that
Ren
stuff.
And Stimpy.
True, but have you watched Ren and Stimpy lately? Like, it's gnarly, dude.
Yeah,
like
dude.
it's
It always
crazy
was.
that was on TV that we got to watch.
There's an incredible documentary out right now called highly recommended. I think you can rent it on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It might be other places too. It's called Happy Happy Joy Joy, and it's the documentary about Spumco, the animation studio that formed to make Ren and Stimpy, and then their history with Nickelodeon as a channel, and then more importantly, John Kricfalusi, who was the head animator and the creator, and what a problematic guy he was.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Really?
big time. Yeah, you should watch it, but it gets into it. It's doesn't end great, but it's a fascinating documentary because the dude is unbelievably talented as an animator. Unbelievably talented. And really, as a young animation nerd, because that's what I wanted to do before I got into acting, is I wanted to be like a Disney animator.
Oh, cool.
I was addicted to like Looney Tunes, cartoons, and all that stuff. And that's one of the big reasons I was like so into Ren and Stimpy, because it sort of was a throwback to old school, complicated, hand-drawn animation made for the masses. And as the documentary talks about, like, that's also very hard to do. So I remember as a kid, like, all these episodes would be reruns or come out late, and I never knew why I wasn't getting new episodes. And then you find out when you watch it. But great documentary, really, really solid. All three of you guys would love it. Happy Joy Joy.
I'm gonna watch that.
We will check it out. So with that, we should probably close out this episode. We'll stick around for a little bit afterwards, but we got to thank its sponsor, Birdsong Brewing Company, Charlotte, North Carolina. Dude, I was very surprised by this jalapeno beer.
That was very
I thought I was scared of it. It's been sitting in the fridge for a hot minute, and I'm pretty psyched about it. I would actually go, if I was there, I'd buy this shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's like one of the attractions,
It is. It's like the roller coaster you're scared of, but you're gonna hop on anyway.
It's like you go to the fair to get the funnel cake. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like one of those things.
You've sold me. I want to try it. That sounds good.
Riley, here you go. There you go. I'll give you this one.
Poured it.
Just open that mouth. So we got to thank you guys so much, and we got to say check out Bigfoot Collectors Club. It's on all streaming
all this stuff.
Platforms and stuff. Where can we find you guys personally, just so you can check out the content you're making?
I'm Peace Drone at Instagram. That's pretty much the only social media I do. I also have an account at #trashbag where I post photos of garbage.
Love that.
And then Michael, give them all the things for our show. And
Michael.
Yeah, Riley is also, Riley, I don't know if you know this, we tag you on all our Twitter stuff because there is a Riley Bray account with your picture that you never use.
I started and abandoned it in like 2009 or something.
And people are like yelling at us that we haven't put you in like the official credits of our Twitter account. I'm like, he's not even on Twitter. It's fine. I'm just tagging him to be inclusive.
This is the
and
first,
he's got a nice
this is the
picture.
First that I've heard about that. Also, I didn't even
love it.
I tag you every week. You might start it again. There are people following you and then yelling at us that we're not including you on the Twitter more.
That's so funny. I didn't know that.
So on Twitter, we're at Bigfoot Pod, and then Bigfoot Collectors Club, at Bigfoot Collectors Club on Instagram. Yeah. I'm at McMills, MCMILLZZ, or ZZ if you're in the UK, on both Twitter and Instagram. But I'm mostly, if you want to know the best place to go get information about our show is on Instagram. I feel like we do kind of tweet stuff out, but we're kind of, our hub is really Instagram, I would say.
Okay.
And we have a new episode every Wednesday, so you can find that. You can follow us on all the podcast apps, and then if you want to check out our network's homepage, Campfire Media, you can just listen directly there, and that website is wearecampfire.media, and then you just pick Bigfoot Collectors Club and check us out there.
Okay. Is there any shows or acting things that we can check you out on anytime soon, or that you can say? I don't know what the fuck's
I'll be straight up honest. Like, I am in between jobs in the pandemic, but most recently, and this is pretty recently, I was in a few episodes of the first season of Perry Mason on HBO.
Oh,
so
dope!
You can check that out. But yeah, I say just come listen to the podcast. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
We will love to go there. I don't know.
Join us.
Did you guys have fun? I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was a blast. Thanks. Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's
so,
always,
always
a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
We just just would love to crack a few beers, crack a few whiskeys, you know what I'm saying? But it's been your boy.
To see how much I have left in this thing.
Well, how much you got? The biggest question is how much you got in the glass. I haven't seen you taking a sip at all.
I haven't seen you taking a sip.
I took very little, but it's all gone now.
Oh, damn. Okay. Okay. Bro, honestly, I did not see him take a single sip the whole fucking time.
And I poured a little splash in there too. So,
did you? Oh shit.
I started. When I was talking about dreams, I was like, I think I'm getting a little buzzed. I might just need to calm down.
Just go for it.
For
that's kind of our motto. You kind of just gotta go for it. Once they send you specifically with this Birdsong thing, they were all like low content alcohol, and we're like, oh cool. And Drew's saying that he might just have to start doing tasters, like tests, because the Halloween episode, Drew's a little fucked up.
Once you get over like 7, you're headed into. I mean, like
it's a danger zone.
Some of those IPAs, I'm like, I might as well be taking psilocybin mushrooms. Like if I drink too much IPA, I am like walking out in the trees and I am talking to them. I can't do it.
That's how I felt the last time I was on your guys' show. I was drinking IPAs. That's why I switched to a lager. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. So, straight up. So the episode we did after you.
Go ahead. We had a
friend. Yeah, I'm gonna close it out real quick. Fuck it. All right, I'll close it out and I'll tell you guys. But anyways, it's been your boys. This is Birdsong Brewing Company. Go check them out, North Carolina, Charlotte. Shout out Tara for hooking it up on this one. It's been your boys, Pat Drew Pasley. This is Happy Hour, Quick Sixer Podcast. Yeah.
Bye.